The misconception of mental silence. If you believe quieting the mind means stopping all thoughts, you have been misled. This is the most common misconception in meditation, mindfulness, and every esoteric tradition that has ever taught stillness. Silence is not the absence of thought. It is the absence of resistance to thought. Zen practitioners never attempted to stop thinking. Yogic systems never promised blankness. They sought calm, a mind free from stories. They created conditions for insight to arise without distortion. You will learn 3 steps that work within minutes. They are simple, safe, and grounded in both physiology and ancient practice. Nothing here requires belief. Nothing here demands years of training. What follows is achievable today. Step 1. Settle the breath through extended exhale. The first step is to settle the breath through extended exhale. Inhale naturally through the nose. Exhale longer than you inhale. A simple ratio works. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6 to 8. No force, no strain, no holding at the top or bottom of the breath. This technique works because the extended exhale signals safety to the nervous system. When exhalation lengthens, the vagus nerve activates the parasympathetic response. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops slightly. The body interprets this pattern as evidence that no threat is present. Stress-driven mental chatter reduces because the system no longer requires vigilance. The esoteric frame for this is simple. Extended exhale tells the body it is safe to release excess mental energy. Thought accelerates when the system perceives danger. Thought slows when the system perceives safety. You are not forcing the mind to be quiet. You are removing the physiological signal that demands noise. Watch closely. I will demonstrate this for 10 seconds. Notice the ease. Notice the absence of effort. The chest barely moves. The shoulders remain still. Breath flows without interruption. The mechanism behind this is the vagal brake. The vagus nerve acts as a regulatory switch between sympathetic arousal and parasympathetic rest. When you extend the exhale, you apply gentle pressure to that switch. The body responds by downregulating stress hormones and upregulating calming neurotransmitters. This is not mystical. This is the body-mind feedback loop operating as designed. Before proceeding further, a brief caution. If you are prone to panic, dizziness, or are pregnant, keep the breath very gentle and natural. If anything feels uncomfortable, return to normal breathing. There is no need to push. The technique works through consistency, not intensity. Emphasize ease over effort. No forced holds, no strain, no counting required if it feels mechanical. The goal is not to perform the breath perfectly. The goal is to allow the breath to settle naturally into a longer exhale pattern. If you lose the rhythm, simply begin again. If you forget to count, notice the exhale and let it extend slightly. That is sufficient. Most people believe breath control requires discipline. It does not. It requires permission. Permission for the exhale to lengthen without interference. Permission for the body to interpret that lengthening as safety. Permission for the mind to notice the shift without analyzing it. Once the breath settles, attention must anchor somewhere. Without an anchor, awareness drifts back into narrative thought. The breath has created the conditions. The next step provides the structure. Step 2. Anchor attention in the body. The second step is to anchor attention in the body. Place attention on one physical sensation. Feet on the floor, weight of the body in the chair, hands resting in the lap. Choose one. Do not scan. Do not move. Do not explore. Just one steady anchor. This works because attention cannot fully narrate and sense at the same time. The mind quiets when awareness shifts from thought space to lived presence. Thought operates in abstraction. Sensation operates in immediacy. When attention rests in sensation, the narrative stream loses fuel. The esoteric frame for this is direct. Awareness moves out of the mental realm and into the embodied present. Traditions did not teach body awareness because the body is sacred. They taught it because the body is always here, always now, and always simple. The mind can argue with a thought. It cannot argue with the weight of the feet on the floor. Watch closely. I will demonstrate this for 10 seconds. Posture is neutral. Attention is visibly resting in the body. No movement, no adjustment, no searching for a better sensation, just presence. This differs from body scanning practices. Body scanning moves attention through multiple sensations to cultivate awareness. This technique anchors attention in one sensation to cultivate stability. The goal is not exploration. The goal is rest. Common errors appear immediately. The first error is attempting to feel more. You place attention on the feet, then try to feel the texture of the floor, the temperature, the pressure distribution. This is analysis. The instruction is simpler. Feel the feet, that is all. The second error is forcing sensation. You place attention on the hands, then squeeze them slightly to create more feeling. This defeats the purpose. The anchor is not meant to be interesting. It is meant to be simple and available. The third error is mentally describing the sensation. You feel the weight of the body, then narrate it internally. I feel heaviness. It's pressing down. It's solid. This is thought pretending to be sensation. The instruction is to feel, not to describe. Reinforce the principle. The anchor is not meant to be interesting. It is meant to be simple and available. Feet on the floor will never be fascinating. That is precisely why it works. Thought cannot sustain itself on something this plain. Yogic systems used body anchors extensively. They called this pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses from external distraction and redirection toward internal stability. Zen used posture as the anchor. Sit still enough, and the mind has nothing to do but notice itself. Both approaches understood the same principle. Attention stabilizes when it has somewhere concrete to rest. With breath settled and attention anchored, thoughts will still arise. They always do. The third step determines whether the mind remains quiet or returns to noise. Step 3. Allow thoughts without engagement. The third step is to allow thoughts without engagement. When thoughts appear, do nothing. Do not follow them. Do not fight them. Do not attempt to fix them. Return attention gently to breath or body anchor when pulled away. This works because thought loses momentum when it is not fed with attention or resistance. A thought appears. If you follow it, it branches into 10 more thoughts. If you resist it, you create a second layer of thought about the first thought. If you do nothing, it passes. The esoteric frame for this is precise. This is where the gap appears. The space esoteric traditions point toward, the interval between thoughts, where insight can arise without distortion. Zen called this mu, the quality of no-thingness that remains when interference stops. Yogic traditions called it the witness state awareness that observes without participating. Watch closely. I will demonstrate the posture of allowing for 10 seconds. Calm, presence. No visible reaction to internal experience. Thoughts arise. Attention returns to the anchor. No struggle, no drama. The misconception is that allowing means passive surrender or dissociation. It does not. Allowing is active non-interference. You are not ignoring the thought. You are choosing not to enter it. This requires awareness. This requires intention. This is not spacing out, this is precision. Clarify what non-engagement means, not suppressing. Suppression creates tension, not analyzing. Analysis creates more thought. Not solving. Problem solving creates mental loops. Simply returning to the anchor, the breath, the body, the present sensation. Zen, train non-interference through Zazen. Sit, notice thought. Return to posture. Repeat for years. Yogic methods use breath and body as stabilizers. Regulate the breath. Anchor in sensation. Allow thought to move through without attachment. Both systems understood the same mechanism. Thought sustains itself through engagement. Remove engagement, and thought settles. These 3 steps combine into a single, repeatable practice. You can test this immediately. The 3 anchor reset. 90-second micro practice. We will now complete the practice in real time. 30 seconds on breath, 30 seconds on body, 30 seconds allowing thoughts. Begin. Inhale naturally. Exhale longer. No counting required. Just notice the exhale extending. Breath settles. Shoulders drop. The system interprets safety. Shift attention to the body. Feet on the floor. Weight in the chair. 1. Anchor. No scanning. No adjustment. Attention rests. Allow thoughts. When attention is pulled away, return it gently to breath or body. No force, no judgment, just return. Notice immediate effects. Breath rate slowing naturally. Shoulders dropping. Less urgency in thought. Slightly wider attention. Nothing dramatic needs to happen. Even a 5% shift is success. We are not fixing the mind. We are giving it something simpler to rest on. In conclusion, the esoteric payoff and final takeaway. Quieting the mind creates space for insight, intuition, and direct knowing. Not visions, not voices. Sharpened perception. When the noise drops, clarity remains. The mind becomes quiet, not when thoughts stop, but when attention stops feeding them. Subscribe for more practical esoteric techniques. Until next time, keep breathing.